All right, so we are here at the Lightning conference in Berlin with Stadicus and Douglas, and they are from Shift Cryptosecurity, which produces the BitBox hardware wallet. And they also have an upcoming node, which is like an all-in-one box with Bitcoin and Lightning, and possibly you can add other integrations, like hopefully BTC Pay server, possibly. But why do you think that the hardware wallet that you have, and I'm going to be testing for a review, is special as compared to something like a Trezor or a Ledger?
Yeah, so I can take this one. So yeah, we actually came out with the second generation of our hardware wallet, BitBox 02, just a few weeks ago. Before that, we had a BitBox 01 that's been on the market for about 3.5 years now. And so when we generated the second version device, we tried to listen to our users, try to take the best of what they liked, try to add what they wanted. And we think we came out with a product that can be a strong competitor on the market. In particular, we see there could be some advantages in two ways, in terms of usability, but also in terms of security. And so in terms of usability, one of the most popular features of our previous wallet was the micro SD card insert. And so the point of that is for very easy, very fast, very simple backups. So during wallet creation and also during recovery. And one thing we learned talking to our resellers, talking to new users especially, is this concept of mnemonic anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, the hardcore crypto people, they're very comfortable with mnemonic word lists, writing down backups, they understand the point. But new users especially, it's really complex topic, really confusing to understand, take 20 to 30 minutes, really nervous writing everything down. And so we think with the SD card slot, that was quite popular to solve that issue, where it's backup is an easy concept to understand, and it happens instant. And with the new device, we had an OLED screen, of course, needed that to be competitive. One thing we're quite interested about is touch sliders on each side of the device. And with this, we think we can have some unique user experience issues, or user experience ways to interact with the device. And so it allows touch, slide, hold, different types of gestures. It can be a fun experience. We think it can be a faster experience also. And our new device has USB-C. And so soon our desktop app will also be a mobile app, so you can plug it directly into a phone and use it. In terms of security, I need to make sure I don't go too deep down the rabbit hole, because I like to talk about this a lot. But we kind of take what we think is the best of both worlds between Ledger and Trezor, so the main competitors. Trezor has, for example, a general purpose microcontroller with open source software. Open source is great. There is some problems with general purpose microcontroller. Ledger, on the other hand, goes the opposite way. They have a secure element, but closed source code. And so secure element has a lot of physical protection mechanisms, where the general purpose microcontroller is just not designed for that, so it can be susceptible to certain types of attacks. But the closed source is a problem in the sense that typically, in order to become closed source, you need to go through a certification process. The chip manufacturer needs to go through a certification process. It can take a year of time. It can take $1 million or more. And so it's a costly process. And oftentimes, it's been published in the past even, the chip manufacturers have an incentive to not fix problems, because oftentimes the crypto is in hardware. And if there's a problem, they have to do a chip redesign, go through the certification process again, another $1 million, another year to market. And so oftentimes they just don't want to fix bugs. And so that's also why it's closed source. So you have to sign an NDA in order to use these chips. So we think, in a lot of fields it's probably okay, but in crypto, where one mistake means you could lose your funds, they could vanish into the nether, I think it's just a complete no-go. And so what we do is we take, again, what we think the best of both worlds. So we have a general purpose microcontroller, put open source code on it, like the Bitcoin LebSecP library, for example, which I think is the most well-vetted cryptographic library for cryptocurrencies. And then we also have, we do that on a general purpose microcontroller, so we keep it all open source, but then we also have a secure chip in order to also get these physical protection mechanisms in order to harden the access to the device.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very long answer.
Yeah. I remember yesterday I was looking at your products, and then Peter Todd came along,
Yeah.
and he has this type of mindset that he tries to find the problem in
Yep.
anything and
Yeah.
find security issues.
Yeah.
And the only criticism that he had about your product was the packaging.
The packaging. Okay.
Yes, because it comes in a plastic foil. And he said it's very easy to replicate that. And if you want to just open and tamper the device and then put it back, it's just too easy to replicate it, and should have some kind of serial number that you can check also inside or something that's imprinted.
Yeah. I'll only give a sneak preview, but we're working on something to solve that problem. That said, I think the existing ways to physically protect, like with tamper-proofs or security stickers and things like that, oftentimes it's more security theater than it is actual security. So even with stickers and things like that, you can fake it. If you have an ID, someone can just replace that and write the same ID on the device. And so it's something we're thinking about. That said, probably the best way to help prevent this type of supply chain attack is something Ledger also does, where you have an attestation key inside your device. And so just like Ledger and a lot of other products, you have a private key on the device. The app will send it a challenge. The app has the public key, and then the app will know whether or not the device is counterfeit, for example.
Yeah. You don't need to put it on the blockchain to know if it's counterfeit.
No, exactly.
So what about the node? Because I saw that Casa has announced that they have a product which runs on the latest Raspberry Pi. And I'm not very happy with the current product, which is underwhelming for the price. And I saw that you developed something which promises to sync the whole Bitcoin blockchain in 2 days from scratch and runs on a more powerful architecture. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so, taking a step back, we're working on a product ecosystem that combines hardware and software to give you as much financial sovereignty as possible. And having like a secure cold storage solution with the hardware wallet and our BitBox app, which is a really cool and well-developed BitBox wallet, is the first step. But the issue I personally have there is that people are not usually aware of that. If I use a hardware wallet, the app, to know if a transaction actually happened, it needs to call home. So it actually asks us, did this transaction happen? And every transaction you make, it sends first to us. And this is not really great for privacy. So we're working on solving this third issue with privacy, that you can run your own full node. And all the hardware stuff, it's basically just a means to an end. We want you to be able to be to fully validate the blockchain, be a direct peer to the network, not rely on a random API. And you see quite a few Lightning nodes out there. For me, they start with Lightning and then go maybe a little bit towards the on-chain stuff. For me, it's a little bit the other way around. I first want to solve the on-chain Bitcoin stuff to give the user really sovereignty, privacy, and then we can add the fun stuff on top. But I think this is probably the main differentiator to Casa.
Yeah, I remember yesterday we were having a conversation about whether or not the node comes with a pre-synced blockchain. I think Casa basically copies and pastes the files in the hard drives, and you have to trust them that the blocks are okay. And you also have something similar, but you get to choose, right?
Yeah. So we still think that it should be an option for users to just get the damn thing running. And not everybody has like an unlimited internet connection to first download 250 gigabytes of data, and then even if it's only 1 day later, start the product. So the user has the possibility to just go ahead and trust us. There's some trust involved anyway from us as a company. But of course, we also offer to either download the whole UTXO set, which means you basically validate the existing blockchain from the Genesis block on the device directly, or you just like delete, or you just delete everything and start from scratch, including the download. For me personally, I would probably do the second option. Downloading doesn't really add any security, in my opinion, but I would definitely revalidate everything.
Yeah,
that's possible in about 1 day, and then you're up and running, and you know you're like on the right chain. You know that what the hardware wallet or your thing says is actually what you have.
One of the arguments against buying a custom node is that you can just buy a Raspberry Pi and run the LND software. But in your case, it's C Lightning with the kind of architecture which is a lot more powerful than a Raspberry Pi. So how do you comment on that? And also, what is the starting price for that?
I mean, the custom node is a great product. It evolves a lot over do-it-yourself approaches with that, which I like obviously a lot as well, because I'm coming from that field. For us here at the conference, a lot of people are able to build their own nodes, but many people aren't, and they shouldn't need to. Having said that, with LND, which is a great Lightning Network implementation, it's mainly focused on desktop applications, desktop usage. We chose deliberately to go with C Lightning, which is more of a backend application, because we want primarily to run on the BitBoxBase, which is the full node, make it easy for you to run the backend, and we have the whole user interface directly integrated into the BitBox app. So once you have a BitBoxBase and you're connected to your BitBox app, you will just like magically have your Lightning wallet in your regular Bitcoin wallet anyway.
So
Plug and play, yeah. But how would you comment on the difference between LND and C Lightning in terms of how much resources it uses from your node?
I guess on a device like we are using, which is optimized for validation of Bitcoin Core, it doesn't make that much difference because it's overpowered anyway once it is done with all the validation. One key aspect why we chose C Lightning is that it has all these amazing server-side plugin capabilities. So we can, in any programming language we want, be it Python or we basically usually use Go, just add functionality. For example, if you want to open a channel directly from your hardware wallet, you cannot do that either with LND or C Lightning. But with C Lightning, it gives you these hooks where you can like hook into the program, write your own feature, and use that to just add an additional functionality that is important for our own ecosystem.
But from a user perspective, is there a massive difference?
I guess if you're using like more of a very Lightning focused node, LND is pretty cool because it gives you a lot of existing applications like Zap Wallet or the Joule browser extension that you can use, which you cannot really use with C Lightning. But it's hard to get that up and running. So it seems easy, but then comes like a lot of networking complications, and you need to do port forwarding, and you need to exchange like server certificates. So it was a hard choice for us because we deliberately gave up that whole like applications that the community is building for free. But we think that if you really want to have an easy plug and play solution, that's not the way to go anyway. So we decided, if we're going all in, let's use C Lightning, build on that. And I guess the little rebel in me was also telling me that everybody's building on C Lightning, so we should build on, everybody's building on LND, so we should build on C Lightning because it's not healthy. It's just everybody's following the rabbit.
Yeah, and there's also a sync which released a wallet yesterday, and also Neyuta from Japan.
That's pretty cool.
Who seems to be very interested in running the lightest client possible on a kind of hardware which is very affordable.
Yeah.
So I look forward to implementations that actually function with these clients. So do you have a release date for the node?
So we are...
It's dangerous to say.
Yeah, I'm aware of.
You can just say when it's done.
I said a date, but not a year. Now, that's kidding aside, we're moving forward to beta testing. We just announced the early bird program for the community to participate in that as well. And after that, let's see how the feedback is, how many iterations we still need. But I still think that Q1 next year should be a realistic release date, somewhere around that.
I have one last question for both of you, which is more of a challenge. So let's assume I'm a very uninformed consumer who wants to buy a hardware wallet and the node, and just persuade me to get your product. What makes it special?
Just get the family pack from our website.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're really focused on the whole user experience. Of course, there's a lot of stuff to do, but I think we really try to focus on simplicity, and that governed our decisions with our hardware. It's also governing our decisions with our app, which we didn't get a chance to talk about. And so I think for people new to the field, of course, it's extremely important to get your coin secure. Doing it on exchanges is a ticking time bomb, as people will tell you. Having it on your mobile wallet or desktop is also a ticking time bomb. And so really the best way to do it is with hardware. And so what we really want to do is give as simple as possible experience to the user in that sense. And we do that through hardware, through the user interaction, but also through our app.
You should mention the app, because I feel bad right now. You have another product which I haven't mentioned. So.
Well, the app is, if we build hardware, but you also have to build software in order to use the hardware. And so right now we have a desktop app. It's cross-platform, so Apple, Linux, Windows. We have a mobile version of it also that's in a working prototype that we plan to release pretty soon. And so I know a lot of new users, they only have phones also, and so you can plug our device directly into your phone with the USB-C connection. And that's a big focus on usability, simplicity, and in the future we'll also try to add different types of services that are useful to use cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so Stadicus, try to sell me the node.
Well, first
he's
of all,
a technical guy, not a salesman.
yeah, but I guess I can sell stuff that I really care about deeply. I think for me, at least the evolution of a user that I would wish for is like it buys a little bit of Bitcoin, buys it on an exchange, learns more about Bitcoin, takes it off the exchange into a hardware wallet, and from a certain point on, you really should care about privacy. And there's not really a solution out there at the moment that allows you to enforce privacy and security if you're like holding significant amount of funds on a hardware wallet. Everything is Lightning focused, which is fun, but it's for smaller payments. It's for like not really cold storage. So if you really want to directly participate to the network with Bitcoin with your hardware wallet, it's a serious amount of money. I don't think there's another product out there actually at the moment. So this is what we're building for.
Okay, I'm partially sold. So
Okay.
So we'll work on our pitch.
you're still working on the node, so by the time it's out, you probably will have all the arguments.
Yeah, I can work on that as well.
So thank you very much. This was really great.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank
Lance.
And good luck on your product.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Say
much.
to you.